Hello everyone and welcome to Advanced English Conversation. Today's conversation revolves around the expression, it is a bit of a stretch. It is a bit of exaggeration. Like what we hear or what is being said is not as important or as serious as it is said. Like some people say, eating potato chips can lead to cancer. Wow, that's a bit of a stretch. Of course, potato chips is unhealthy because of using too much oils and stuff, but immediately it leads to cancer. That's a bit of a stretch. Now, let's move on to the conversation. Chris, I'm not a big proponent of taxations. Nonetheless, it's a bit of a stretch to claim taxes are the causes of all our problems. Here, Chris thinks like it's a bit of exaggeration to say that people's problems and the economy's problems are the results of taxes. That's a bit of exaggeration. That's exaggerated. Although he is not a big proponent of taxations, he is not a big fan of taxes. He doesn't like the tax system, but of course, according to Chris, it's not the cause of people's problems. Diana, yeah, that's no-brainer. Taking it out on the circumstances rather than taking action has become the norm, you know. Diana agrees. She says that's no-brainer. No need to think about it. That's obvious. Taking it out on the circumstances, people blame the circumstances. Being lazy rather than making a plan, doing something useful. People search for excuses to justify their being poor or being having less money. Chris, right. It's outrageous to see some of the youth leading a parasitic existence and refusing to cope with the fact that we are responsible for our failures. Chris adds, that's outrageous. That's so terrible, so sad. Like, that's unpleasant to see young people leading a parasitic existence. Like parasitic existence, like what is a parasite? It's kind of organism that feeds on others. Young people at the age of 20, 25, some of them at 30 still depend on their parents or on other people to support them, and refusing to cope with the fact that we are responsible for our failures. Of course, we need to face the facts, we need to assume responsibility and take action. We need to be financially independent, we need to build our careers, our skills, rather than, always complaining and depending on others like parasites. Diana, the proverb that says, better work as hard as an ant than lead a parasitic life as a sparrow. So here Diana uses a proverb, a saying, like ants are so active, are not parasitic. They don't depend on others. They work by the sweat of their brow. They are always organized, they are always in motion, not like a sparrow. The sparrow is kind of a bird, like whenever it finds some food, it said like it's enough. It doesn't work hard as much as the ants. We should learn what is truly worth our while rather than sitting by idly. Now, Diana suggests that people need to work hard, need to make a plan, need to organize their effort, their life, rather than just sitting. People, instead of taking action, they try to fill up the gaps with that gap with video games, with going out, with hanging around. So that's not the right recipe. According to Diana, we need to be active, we need to take action. Chris, honestly, it's like pulling teeth, laying the facts out. Chris says, that's right, but it's like pulling teeth. It's not easy to say this to people or to deliver that message to people. It's not easy. People know, but people don't want to understand the facts. People want to ignore them. They blame the taxations, they blame the economy, they blame unfair opportunities, they blame, of course there is unfair like there are a lot of stuff that are unfair, of course, but should we be just sitting by, watching them? Of course not. We need to be taking action. Diana, I think everyone will eventually wake up and figure it out. So Diana says we shouldn't be losing hope. People at some point of their life are going to wake up, are going to understand that life is combination of sweet and bitter experiences, and they will figure it out. They will understand that sooner or later. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in another advanced conversation.